Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connor.
I'm Stella Escobedo. You are waking up to that thick fog again this morning.
Yeah, take a look outside here around the county. It is really thick out there. This is the view from the fog in the Rancho Bernardo area. You can hardly see from one intersection to the next.
Yeah, it was kind of scary to drive this morning. We are getting a different view of the fog. This is the drive from Mira Mesa, and we want to see the fog where you live. All you have to do is upload your video through the Near Me feature through the News 8 app. Really easy. And Netta, when will that fog clear out?
You know, it'll be very similar to yesterday. So after around 9, 10 o'clock, that's hopefully when we'll see the clearing. But right now, it's like someone turned on the shower and that mist is filling the bathroom. And San Diego is really dealing with it. All from the border to the North County. Visibility down to a third in Fallbrook. Same with Carlsbad, a half-mile visibility in Kearney Mesa. So please be careful out there. Let's check in with Jenny now.
Well, you know, we started stacking up with the crashes here. I'll mention one that's impacting the 94. Good morning to you. Westbound right at Massachusetts, right on that entrance ramp there. Crews are doing a little bit of recovery work. Another crash here eastbound on the 8 at the 125. And then finally, another crash on Agua Dulce. This is impacting your drive at Camper Road.
Today, the husband of missing South Bay mother Maya Millete is due back in court, and this comes amid new legal fight over her 3 children.
News 8's Evan Narani is live in Chula Vista, staying on top of these latest developments here. Good morning, Evan.
Good morning to you as well. That's right. We're outside of the South Bay courtroom where Larry Millete is expected to be this afternoon, just around 1:30 for that bail review hearing. Now, prosecutors are asking that judge deny bail to Larry Millete. He already is currently being held with no bail, but today could be the day that bail is chosen for him and then posted possibly. But there also is the possibility that judge denies bail in accordance with the prosecutors that are asking for that through that motion. Now, it also comes at a time where Maya Milliete's sister is asking for custody of those 3 children. So a lot is going on at once. Take a listen to what Maya Milliete's sister is likely going to be using in order to get guardianship of those 3 kids, which is the violation that Larry Millete made of that criminal protective order.
The defendant has made about 129 jail calls, and at least 9 hours of those have been to his children. The calls have been during school hours. They have been as late as midnight, 1 a.m.
And those 129 calls were in violation of that criminal protective order. The prosecutor wrote that Larry Millete would not only be a danger to his children if released on bail, as well as a flight risk, he also may try to murder the man suspected of having an affair with his wife, Maya. That's what prosecutors said. In the meantime, Maya Milliete's sister, Mary Chris, filed a petition for temporary and eventual full custody of those 3 kids, ages 5, 10, and 11. In her petition, she says Larry's parents have, quote, demonstrated that they are incapable of protecting the Millete children because of the violation of that protective order. A hearing on the petition for temporary guardianship is set for November 10th, and permanent guardianship is set for January 2022. But today is exclusively that bail review hearing, where we will likely find out whether or not Larry Millete will be given bail, or whether those prosecutors will see that motion to deny bail upheld and continue now into the month of November. And then we would likely hear on November 10th as to whether or not Maya Milliete's sister will be able to gain custody of those 3 kids. In Chula Vista, I'm Evan Narani, News 8.
Today marks a new call to investigate so-called shadow police units within the Border Patrol. Another local group is calling on the district attorney's office to take action.
News 8's Dana Marie McNichol is live at the Hall of Justice downtown to explain, including how CBP is responding. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, these are pretty strong allegations made against the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Now, the San Diego Immigrants' Rights Consortium, they say that the agents are getting away with everything, even murder. So we're going to hear from this group a little bit later today here at the Justice. Now, the call for this investigation stems from what happened to Anastasia Hernandez Rojas when he was back in 2010 when he was killed at the San Ysidro port of entry by Border Patrol agents. Federal investigations later found that the killing was justifiable, but human rights groups are calling on Congress to investigate shadow police units, which they say acted to cover up border agents' actions and tamper with evidence in Hernandez Rojas' death, along with a growing list of incidents.
I would call them washing machines. Whatever you put in comes out clean.
Now, the San Diego attorney that represents Anastasio Hernandez Rojas's family says they would like these cases with alleged cover-ups by these shadow units, including the one of Hernandez, to be reopened.
Everybody assumed that they were legitimate, and they didn't bother to prove their legitimacy, and in the process wound up acting like cover-up teams.
Now, in response, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection say they stress honor and integrity in every aspect of their mission, stating, quote, the U.S. Border Patrol maintains teams with specialized evidence collection capabilities across the southwest border, calling the work of these teams vitally important. Now, if you'd like to take a closer look at this letter to Congress, as well as the full response from CBP's in the entirety, head over to CBS8.com. Live in downtown San Diego, I'm Dana Marie McNichol. I'll send it back to you.
Dana Marie, thank you. San Diego police are looking into reports of an attempted kidnapping in Carmel Valley near Solana Ranch Elementary. The call came in around 3:45 yesterday afternoon. The man investigators are looking for is described as white, in his 30s, bald, and was wearing jeans. He was in an older white Ford SUV with dark windows. Call police if you have any information. And this just in. Companies with 100 or more employees will need to be vaccinated against COVID by January 4th or get tested for the virus weekly. The new government rules take effect today. OSHA says companies that fail to comply could face penalties of nearly $14,000 per violation. A senior White House official says the agency would target companies if it gets complaints.
New this morning, the UK is the first country to authorize the use of a pill to treat COVID-19. The pill from the company Merck has been shown to reduce symptoms and speed up recovery from coronavirus. The pill is currently being reviewed by U.S. regulators. Children between the ages of 5 to 11 are now getting vaccinated against COVID-19 in San Diego after the CDC gave the green light to emergency use authorization. Officials recommend going to your child's primary doctor to get it, but the Pfizer shot is now available at many county vaccine sites and pharmacies. And here's what some parents had to say about it all.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about it. I don't want to say I'm skeptical, but it's just, it's our kid and you want to make sure everything is okay.
The data so far that we've looked at, it looks really good for this age group and no side effects. And so I think the risk of COVID to them is more than this vaccine.
A survey by Kaiser Family Foundation found 27% of parents say they will vaccinate their child, 33% say they will wait and see, 5% say they will only vaccinate their child if it's required, and 30% say definitely not.
Foggy conditions this morning yet again. How long will this last, Netta?
Yeah, still we're dealing with another day like this, but this time around downtown San Diego, it's coming in pretty good. Yesterday it wasn't as thick there, so this is right by the airport, the Embarcadero, as you see, you can kind of see. But yeah, our views all across from the South Bay through North County are really showing how foggy it is. I mean, it's going to be tough to get around this morning. Definitely don't want to rush through this kind of stuff. Half-mile visibility in Carlsbad, you're at a third for Fallbrook, and then Kearney Mesa, a third-mile visibility. Otay Mesa, it was down to about a half-mile. Now it's lifting a little bit, but this kind of rolls throughout town, and it sits fairly low, especially through 7, 8 o'clock this morning. That's probably the peak of when it'll be at its worst, and that's really when most people start to head out, right, for work and for school. So that's the most dangerous time to be outside, driving around through all of it. So definitely leave earlier than you might normally do. 100% humidity in Fallbrook. That's full saturation. That's the mist and drizzle that we get. So that's what you'll likely see wherever you go throughout town today. Just a couple wipes of the windshield is probably all you'll need, though. 54 degrees in El Cajon, 51 in Poway, 58 degrees in Oceanside. Let's take you hourly for the coastline today. Starting off in the upper 50s for the most part, and then we'll see temperatures warming to about the low 70s if the clouds clear. So it all kind of depends on that. Yesterday, the clouds stuck around places like La Jolla. By the afternoon, we barely saw any sun. But inland areas, you will see that sunshine, not to worry, and temperatures will be inching closer to 80 degrees today. So a couple of degrees warmer than yesterday. I'll let you know about the cool down that we're expecting for part of the weekend coming up here in just a few minutes.